Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Today is February 3rd, 2025. We get together most weekday mornings with our distribution partners. We have two types of distribution partners. We have our resellers, which is really the focus of today's session, and we have a separate group of Shelf Corp store owners. Those are the individuals that have taken this to that next level and have a brick and mortar store. They have a separate Zoom that they attend. So today is February 3rd. My screen should be shared. Yep, looks like I'm sharing my screen, so all's good there. And we're going to be going through our agenda. Our agenda today is essentially our Shelf Corp reseller basic training. So this is really good for all of you who are new or just need a refresher. But the way that we have introduced it, I think this is a really good question from us to you. Where are you going? And meaning with this, are you looking to run a six-figure business? There's no cost to be a reseller. It's not a shell game. It's not an MLM. It's not network marketing. It's not Ponzi. There's no cost to be a reseller, but there is a great opportunity to help others increase their financial literacy, access to capital, and earn a great income. But at some point, you have to decide, where are you going with this? I can tell you that our average reseller, this is a part-time gig. This is not what they focus on, but our average reseller does a deal a day. So about 5 a week, about 20 a month. So it's a side income for them. But as we've talked about before, and we'll go through today, our resellers make 5,000 on average upfront per deal. And then of course 5 points in the back end. So if you wanted to be just average, you would be earning 25,000 this week, next week, and the following week by helping people. But ultimately the question is, where are you going? So we're going to go through the reseller basic training. This is going to be kind of an all-inclusive of what do you need to know to get up and going. And then we want to answer your questions. But ultimately, the goal is to go take this information and implement it. What's great about working with you all is you all are entrepreneurs. You know the recipe for making money. If you solve people's problems, you can make a lot of money. And the bigger the problem that you're solving, the more money that you can make. Well, you and I are solving a huge problem. The average entrepreneur doesn't know what you and I know. They want money, they need money, but they don't know how to qualify. They don't know what it means to be fundable. And by us, you and I, providing them a Shelf Corp, they have an instantly fundable business. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Our first learning objective is to know how easy it is to enroll clients. I was talking to one of our Shelf Corp resellers this morning. Great guy, didn't know what the fuck to do, just clueless. So that's my fault, not his, not yours. So how do you enroll clients if you're a reseller? Well, once you become a reseller, which costs how much? Zero. There's no cost to become a reseller, not even a contract to sign. I'll give you the instructions in a minute. You email us, you just request to be a reseller. No hoops to jump through, no strings attached. We will send you an email called the Shelf Corp implementation packet. It will have, amongst other things, an editable client agreement. It's coming to you in Microsoft Word. Now, again, if you want us to make these edits, we can, and that falls under the Reseller Marketing Program, RMP, but we'll get to that in a moment. But it's crazy simple. You're going to get that email. You're going to edit the Word document. You're going to remove our information, put yours on, because you're a reseller. A reseller means that you're the entity selling the Shelf Corp to the client. Well, why do we do that? That allows you to go out under your branding and then allows you to control your pricing. So all you do is you take off that implementation email that we send you, the Word document, remove our information, replace it with yours. Change pricing if you want, get it into DocuSign, Adobe, whatever e-signature software you want. Client sign up. They don't pay anything up front. Really simple. Crazy simple. Now, again, if you want us to take that client agreement, make the edits for you, and get it into an e-signature format, we can do that. But by default, you're getting the ingredients, you make the changes, and you're open for business today. Yolanda has a great question regarding how long does it take to get paid? Immediately, right? Because as soon as a client enrolls, they can either pay you upfront or pay nothing at all, and we finance it. If they pay you upfront, then you're paid today because they're paying you. You're the reseller. If they want to finance it, then you don't need to collect anything upfront, zero upfront, and then we will send them a finance app. We'll copy you, but we'll send it to them, and they'll complete that finance app so that way they get funding to pay for their Shelf Corp. Then you get paid. So, Yolanda, hopefully that answers your question. I know those are some basic questions you need to know. How much do I get paid? As much as you want. You set pricing. When do I get paid? As soon as the client pays for their Shelf Corp. Oh, I thought you said there was no cost up front. There is no cost up front. The client needs to pay nothing up front for the Shelf Corp. They sign up with you, and then we will send them a finance app, and then we will finance it, and then they pay. All right, so crazy simple to enroll clients. I should add, we will set up a portal. You'll upload the executed contract into that portal so that way we can implement. The beauty of our model is we do all the implementation. You do the outreach, you get the clients under contract, we handle the implementation. So super simple to enroll clients. All right, now let's talk about knowing your income, which gets more back to Yolanda's question. Yolanda's asking if she's paid in cash. Well, of course you're paid in cash. So you're going to be paid twice for each client. You're going to be paid upfront based upon the client's payment for the Shelf Corp, which you determine how much that is. Most of you are setting that at 15,000, so that puts 5,000 of profit into you, 5,000 cash, Yolanda, paid to you up front. And then we do a split of the capital raise performance fee, which is 10% paid by the client after they get funded. And we split that 50-50 with you. So therefore, you're making 5 points of their capital raise plus on average 5,000 up front. Most of our clients are going for $1 million to a $3 million capital raise. Now they can set that number lower or set it higher based on what they want. But 5 points of $1 million is 50,000. Add that to the 5,000 you made up front. And again, it's not get rich quick. I know for some of you, this is not impressive at all. I'm not trying to impress you, but you have a reasonable model here, a legal, ethical model, solving other people's problems to make around 55,000 per client. Now, the larger their capital raise, the more you make. The smaller their capital raise, the less you make. But if you were working on your projections, you'd be looking at right around 55,000 per client. Again, this is a part-time gig for most of you. I understand that. Our average affiliate does a deal a day. So on an upfront basis, they're making 5,000 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Nothing over the weekend. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you've got the 5,000 coming in upfront, the performance fee coming in after the client's capital raise. Okay, so we know the process, which is simple. We know our income, twofold. Upfront plus performance fee. You control how much you make upfront. Performance fee is a split of the 10% the client pays after capital raise. All right, so in the background here, you see the Reseller Marketing Program landing page. So let's clarify. So what's the cost to be a reseller? Zero. No contract to sign, no cost. Is there a cost for the Reseller Marketing Program? Yeah, there has to be because someone's got to cover those costs. So what does that include? The Reseller Marketing Program will provide you a landing page that is coded to you, so it'll have a unique link. So what you're doing then is just driving people to the landing page. You don't have to have this. It's okay if you don't want this. But best practice is to have a landing page to drive people to. They put in their basic information, then they receive drip marketing from that. Within that drip marketing, we actually set up the drip marketing. We set up the communication that they receive. So now they're receiving prompting to sign up using your link. They're receiving promptings to schedule a call with you if that's what you want. So it's just an automated system. You don't have to have the reseller marketing program. Just some of you asked for it, so we built it. It is not free. Yes, it's free to be a reseller. No, someone's got to pay the cost for building and managing this. So if you want this, you pay for it. However, we will reimburse you the cost of the reseller marketing program after your first deal. So essentially, as long as you'll put it to use, it ends up being free. So reseller marketing program optional, standardized landing page. DeAndre asked, can we put his car on instead of my car? Sure. I mean, all of us should have all of us should be walking the walk, right? So if you haven't gone through the Shelf Corp program, I encourage you to do it. It's not required. All of you should get funding through your Shelf Corp. Is it required? No, but it's recommended. All of you should have a company car, and this is the company car I bought. I don't care if you like it or not. I'm not trying to impress you. It's my company car. So if you want to have your company car on your landing page, then that's fine. I don't care. But we're just trying to make it simple with the reseller marketing program. So essentially, all you're doing is creating awareness and driving people in to the landing page. All right. So if it's free and easy to be a reseller, the comp is great, then what we need to know is how to get the word out. And so some of you just make it too complicated, in my opinion. Really, what you need to say is actually on your landing page, because your goal as a reseller is not to sell anyone anything, but to drive them into the funnel. So what you're trying to do is introduce people that shelf corporations are a fast and easy way to qualify for business funding and SBA loans. We want to help them understand that they can qualify for 100,000 plus of business loans and funding in as little as 10 days. They can get a Fundable Shelf Corp with no out-of-pocket cost that's ready for funding. We guarantee a capital raise. It's not going to be a waste of time for them. And their next step is just simply to fill this form out. So if you keep it simple, it works really well. And think about the sales process. All you're trying to do is get them into the funnel initially. You're not trying to get them to spend any money or sign any contracts. You're trying to get them into the funnel so they can learn more. So as long as you have a landing page, what I'm describing is a very simple process. And so you get the landing page through the reseller marketing program. If you don't want to use our landing pages, that's fine. You can do it your own way. But we just need to introduce the value proposition. Want to emphasize that there's no upfront cost. They can get access to $1 million plus, and we're providing a fundable business. At the core of what we do is we solve a problem by providing a fundable business. Because what I think you know, and I know, and Gilbert tells me this all the time, people are just saying, give me money, I want money. But the truth is you need to have a qualified business to get the funding. And so we can either buy a fundable business, a Shelf Corp, or build one. Buying one is quicker, it's easier, and it has less volatility. So keep it real simple. Really, what you need to know is right on your landing page. If you just shared this with people and drove them in, then the system should take care of it from there. All right, so let's move on. Now, we added a passive income component. And to me, I think it's great. Maybe you like it, maybe you dislike it, but it is what it is. So let's discuss how the passive income works. So the passive income, again, we're not MLM, we're not network marketing, not saying anything bad about any of those models, but we're not those. So it's just simply an override. So let's take Carlos, who's on. So Carlos could say, hey, this is great. I want to make money, but I really don't want to do any work. Well, someone's got to do the work. Someone's got to create awareness and drive people into their landing pages. So Carlos could say, I don't want to do the work. I just want to make money. Well, that's the American dream, isn't it? So he finds Terrell. So then Terrell becomes a reseller. Terrell makes the money that we just said. So let's go break this down a little bit so we're all clear. So the first type of income that a reseller makes is the upfront. You pick how much that is because as a reseller, you're determining the price, but the normal is 5,000. Again, it can be plus or minus because you're picking how much you want to charge, but normally you're making 5,000 upfront. So that's what the reseller makes. And then secondly is the override, not over, I'm sorry, the performance fee of 5%. And of course, 5% of 1 million is 50,000. So that's I'm not giving you new information. I'm just breaking down where that 55,000 came from. But it reflects down to this point that we're on now with passive income. Is we've set up the passive income comp model to be exactly the same. So Carlos would make this same amount as what Terrell does. So if you want to have if you want to have resellers underneath you or whatever terms you want to use in your downline, I don't know how you want to describe it, but you can have resellers that you earn an override and that the comp model is exactly the same. They make the 55,000, you make the 55,000. So it's not more complicated to say, well, that's what I would make if I brought the client in, but what if someone else brought the client in? It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. And we have training breakouts on all these topics. I'll show you in a minute. So really simple. Now, for us to keep track of overrides, it will require the reseller marketing program because we have to know who's linked to you. So take Kevin, who's on here. So let's say Kevin referred in 4 resellers. Well, Kevin's expecting overrides from those 4 resellers, right? Because that's the deal we're talking about. So anyone that's going to get overrides, receive overrides, will need to be plugged into the reseller marketing program. So we have the logic train, the tracking. Hopefully that makes sense. Any questions on the overrides? The overrides are a great deal. A great deal. Okay, I think we're doing okay. So let's move on down then. So then that just gets down to the bottom. So we have some standard resources. I mentioned earlier, if you want to become a reseller, what does it cost? 0. What's the contract look like? Nothing. There's no contract. It's crazy simple. We're going to send you an editable version of the client agreement, which we talked about earlier up here. You get the clients under contract and you make money. So it's super simple to be a reseller. Just email us and we will send you the reseller packet. If you need to talk to someone, like several of you want to chat, that's great. Madison is your chat partner. You'll call Madison. If you miss her, leave a message. She'll call you back. She'll chat with you all day long if you want to chat a lot. Past trainings. This is really key. So this training will be posted up to our library as well as the past trainings are already there. Go to youtube.com. And then it's the ampersand, like the @ symbol, business paralegal, and you can get the past trainings. We have a program called QuickCash. QuickCash is a little bit of a different animal. There's information about it on our nonprofit website, and there's also trainings on it. But pretty much, if you want detailed trainings, go back and view prior. So if you want to learn more about the Reseller Marketing Program, great. There's a training on it. Go to the library. Want to learn more about QuickCash? Great. Go to the library, because otherwise we'd have to spend 6 hours on the phone or in the Zoom every day restating what has already been covered. All right, so with that, I'm going to start going through the questions, comments, concerns, and see what we can cover here. Rod says he's ready to go. He wants Madison to reach out to you. Well, Rod, you need to call Madison. Call him if you're wanting to talk to Madison. Call Madison. I don't want to. I don't want to be the messenger. Care about you, Rod, but I can't be the messenger for everyone. Let's see. Okay, so if we're using, so there's two scenarios, right? Either you're using a landing page or you're not, and it's up to you. I truly don't care. But if you're using the landing page, then the prospect needs to put in their first name, last name, mobile number, and email. They'll check the box, they'll hit the blue bar, and then it's going to instantly or almost instantly send them a text saying, hey, do you want to receive more information? They have to type yes. Otherwise, they've not opted in. We're not going to spam anyone. We're not going to break any laws. Everything that we do is legal and ethical. So they have to opt in to the communication, and then they'll receive that. I feel like one of the questions we have here is, can you just go load a bunch of people on your landing page? No, that wouldn't work, right? Because you're going to load a bunch of people in, and then they're going to get a bunch of text at their mobile number asking, do they want to receive communication? And they're like, what the fuck's this? And they're not going to say yes, or they're not going to receive any communication. So we're not going to spam people. So ultimately, if you're using the landing page, your role is to get people to submit themselves through this, and then the system can take it forward from there. If you don't want to use a landing page, that's fine. Then just do it your way. Whatever your way is fine with us. Just be successful. Enroll people. You'll get the client agreement in that initial packet. That way you can edit your own agreement. With the reseller marketing package, we edit the agreement. With the reseller marketing package, we provide the landing page. With the reseller marketing program, we set up your agreement, set up the e-signature. So it's just, if you want to do it your way. It's fine. If you want us to do it, then that's all included here. All right, let's move on to the next question. Tara asks, can resellers be clients, and can vice versa? Of course, it's fine. It's not a requirement. That's fine. If you want to be a reseller, here you go. Once you're a reseller, you'll have the client agreement, and you'll be able to become your own first client if you want. Carlos says, if we're not using a landing page, are there videos? Absolutely. There's a ton of trainings, including some abbreviated trainings that you could use. So that would all come from the library, Carlos. But I think in most cases, frankly, you'll be better off using the reseller marketing package because it's all done for you. But yes, if you want to build your own funnel, build your own system, you're obviously smart enough, Carlos. If I recall, you're an attorney. You're obviously competent to build your own funnel. So if you want to do it, great. All right, let's see what's next here. Near brings up a very good point. So Near is not worried about making any money up front. He just wants to make the money off the back end. And that's a great point, Near. So it's up to each of you. If you want to make, that's why I put the plus or minus. You could make nothing on the front end if you wanted or didn't want to, and only get paid the second. Or you could make more on the front end. The second part is locked in unless you're a Shelf Corp store. But if you're a reseller, the second part is locked in. But on the front part, you can mark that up or down, or as Near saying, mark it all the way down to zero, so you're not making anything on the front end if you want. Todd's asking about videos. Yeah, so all the videos are on the YouTube channel. Amanda wants to talk. Yep. So what do we do? If anyone wants to talk, we're going to call Madison. We're going to call Madison, 903-352-3390. Anyone that wants to talk, Madison is your talking buddy. So Amanda, please call Madison. Amanda says she also wants to be a reseller. Well, you can talk to Madison or you can just email in. See, it says here, become a reseller. Email us. We'll send you the packet. No cost, no contract to sign. Warren's asking about turnaround time frame, and that's a good point. So let's do the time. Let's do the client timeline. So what starts the client timeline? Client signs contract. Now, how that happens can vary. If you're using the Reseller Marketing Program, then they'll probably sign through your landing page. If you're not using this, you're going to get them under contract directly. But regardless, client needs to sign the contract. Then what happens? Then, secondly, client needs to pay for Shelf Corp. And they can either pay out of pocket, and I'd say about 25% will. You'd have to ask them. And then the others finance, which is fun. So they could pay 0 out of pocket, or they could pay 100% out of pocket. They don't have to pay anything out of pocket. They could just pay, they could finance. So you get them under contract either through the landing page or on your own. And then we send them the finance app, and then they get approved for financing. Then they pay for the Shelf Corp. Then we go to implementation, which is what the question is. So I'll space this out so it's easier to follow these steps here. So once they've paid, then we implement. First part of implementation is we're going to send them 100,000 sent in 24 hours. And then we need 7 days to fulfill the documentation. We'll talk about each of these. So once they've paid for the shelf, either out of pocket or through financing, then we implement. We're going to send them 100,000 of AR within 24 hours. Now we have collateral for the loan. If they'd like, we can liquidate that AR and turn that into cash. We need 1 week to get all the documentation in their name, and then we'll be ready to go to funding afterwards. So we'll go ahead and add that. So ready to apply for business funding on day 8. So great question. Someone was asking about timing, and there's the answer to that. Yolanda similarly was asking about the back end payment. So right, so the front end is paid upfront, right? Once they have paid for the Shelf Corp. The back end is collected from the client at the rate of 10% performance fee after they've been funded. And then we invoice them for that. We get that, and then we wire you your half of that the next day. I hope none of you are overlooking this, because this is huge. Having a sales team that's out producing while you're asleep, when you're playing Yahtzee or dominoes, when you're at the strip club, whatever you do with your spare time, having passive income is crazy important. And we've built, I think, the best passive income you could ever have, because your override income matches dollar for dollar what the frontline producer is making. But the question that Yolanda was asking is, this is paid up front, this is paid next day after the client's capital raise. Great questions. All right, let's see here. And I have more people saying, have Madison contact me. No. I'm not going to be your messenger. I love you all. But if you want to talk to Madison, it's going to require a little bit of effort, which means dial the digits, the 10 digits on your phone. You're going to dial 9, 03-352-3390. If you want to talk to Madison, call Madison. I don't want to be your messenger. Love you. Don't have time to be everyone's messenger. Carlos is bringing up a good point. Yeah. So a lot of the trainings that are on the library are targeting you as a reseller, giving you training tools and resources. So the way that we provide you resources that are specific to you is through the Reseller Marketing Program. But if you don't want to do the Reseller Marketing Program, then it's kind of on you to go create unique material. So we'll do it for you through the RMP. If you want to do it yourself, then do it yourself. Terrell asked about client generation, and so we'll go ahead and put that on here, and then we'll wrap up. Where do clients come from? Well, that's your deal, and so you can buy or build, just like with most things in life. Well, what does that mean? So if you want to buy, we have a gentleman named Kyle. We don't have any financial affiliation with him, but he's great. He's got leads. He's got lead generation systems. He'll flood you with leads, so you can buy leads from Kyle or wherever else you want. Or you can build your own leads, create your own sales funnel. And so you can do that however you want. That's what you're bringing to the table. So you could post on social media, you could teach workshops, you could get referrals from bankers. I mean, whatever you want. I mean, but that's what you bring to the table, right? That's your role as a reseller. So I guess we get rid of number one. It's buy or build. If you want to take the easy way out, just buy them from Kyle. You can get them for next to nothing, or you can build your own outreach. But that's what you're here to do, Terrell. If you didn't do this, frankly, there's no value of having you as part of the team. All right, with that, we're running a little bit long. We'll be back tomorrow morning, but hopefully this was a good introduction, answering the question where you're going. Where we hope that you'll go is that you will actively be involved as a reseller and strive to be average. You don't have to be an all-star like Near. You don't have to be an all-star like Jessica or Corinthian or Bernard or Belzonia. You don't have to be an all-star. Just be average. And an average affiliate enrolls a deal a day. And again, I know that's not a big deal to you, but an extra $25,000 a week, an extra $100,000 a month on the front end, is that not enough to get a little bit of your attention, let alone the immense greater amount on the back end? But with that being said, you've got the resources. If you need individualized help, call Madison, and we'll see you back tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a great day. Bye.